So they're all set for the next 45 minutes here. 1-1, it couldn't be more perfectly set up. The replacement referee, Andy Hall, let me remind you, has gone off. His place taken by Hull's Paul Robinson, the fourth official originally. Marcus Ebden, foot on ball, was the one who gave Chesterfield the lead, but that strike from Craig Disley just before half-time, perfect tonic for Mansfield. Can we get a winner today? Problem with draws is they never do either side much good, really, in terms of the league table. Mansfield perhaps more desperate for the points than Chesterfield right now. And so we've had a false start. We have. Oh. Why don't we start again? This time we are off and running again, I assure you. And straight away there's a clearing header for Mansfield. The ball straight down to the foot of Ebden. Reeves can't win it from Gadsby. Gadsby, who conceded the penalty in the first half with a handball. Some considered him a mite unfortunate. And the early second half pressure from the home team will come with Howson's throw. Short. Edwards back to Ebden. How many times have we mentioned those two together? And it's a decent ball in. It was Disley who was back and helping out. By hook or by crook, the ball came back from Andy White, but it's now with Blatherwick. Then with Ebden. Nice little step over from him. Edwards forward, a touch to his right. It's Martin Booty. And a hefty clearance and a chase at the other end immediately. Blatherwick decides to take it away from Beardsley and then plays it off the Mansfield man and out for a throw into the Spyrites. Young Chris Beardsley, one of those who's come into the Mansfield side since the start of the season, but so many youngsters there, and they've been so unlucky with injuries to the likes of Danny Bacon and Michael Sissons in recent times. But Mansfield's bench today, a real young look about it. This one's going to go straight through and harmlessly to the keeper. The Mansfield bench today consists of Jason White, Craig Mitchell, Jake Buxton, Mark Carter and Alex Baptiste, and it must be one of the youngest substitute benches ever fielded by the club. There's not a great deal of experience on the Chesterfield bench, so Shane Bradley is there, the former Mansfield striker, and so is Mark Allett, a former Oldham Athletic striker. But elsewhere, youngsters in the goalkeeper Andy Richmond, Stephen Warne and Andy Rushbridge, son of the manager. Reeves, easily covered by Disley. He thinks it's his throw. Mr. Robinson says it's Chesterfield's throw. Payne with the take. Came close to a goal in the first half, Steve Payne, one of the first efforts of the match really. And lands this on the head of Curtis. Payne gets the chance to knock a ball in here, however. It'll end up with Edwards. Lawrence forces him away from the danger area, but it's still Edwards. Now it's Howson, could go for goal here, does cross the ball in. Reeves can't quite get it to where he wants it, and it's fizzing over the top from the boot of Booty. Not a regular goal scorer by any means, Martin Booty. Former Reading player and Crewe Alexandra. He's got the odd goal in his career, but not very many. And it was away by Day, touched back by Reeves and flying over. Kevin Pilkington, Mansfield's number one. All the way out of play. I just think it's difficult for a fourth official to come on and take over. He's got to do far more running than he would normally expect, of course. Normally fourth officials are restricted to lifting cards and keeping managers in their technical areas. Now all of a sudden he's running around the park like a good young'un. As Reeves gets up for a header, but Disley's got boot to ball. Payne. centre of midfield today, Steve Payne, and down the left goes Wayne Corden. Possibilities here for Mansfield. Needs a good ball in from Corden. He twists and turns and delivers. Far post, just too high for Andy White, who didn't even seem to jump really. And Wayne Corden, who is always dangerous when he gets away down the touchline because he can twist and turn both ways and often finishes with the right foot. There's won a corner here. It was just flicked away from Andy White as he advanced on goal. He may just have even been wrong-footed by the deflection. And Corden and Lawrence have worked this little routine before. The one taps it to the other, then Corden crosses, whisks it in. There's a header back across goal, and there's a header wide too. Rhys Day looking for his first goal as a Mansfield player, got it well. It was a lovely manoeuvre. It all started with Liam Lawrence at the corner with Wayne Corden. Corden's cross is deep. It's headed back across by Gadsby and headed wide by Day. Disley wins a header. It's hooked forward by Howson. Excellent covering at the back there by O'Hare. I'm going to have to go back and start again, thanks to the lack of urgency from Brandon. There's been talk over the years of a new stadium for Chesterfield, but it never seems to get much further, it would appear. So they're still coming here to Saltergate. Over 7,000 of them in the ground today. And there's an opportunity here maybe for Hurst, who is kept at bay. Straight up in the air from Ebden. Corden for Mansfield, who is giving it away rather tamely this time to Payne. Brandon, a tucked pass inside for Ebden. Edwards on his left, instead it does go forward for Reeves, willing to come back and help in the move before Brandon takes it on. He was playing down at Plainmoor with Torquay United last season, Chris Brandon. He missed virtually a whole season through injury. This one is knocked up there, but straight through to Pilkington. The crowd just wondering where the next goal is coming from. The biggest crowd here this season so far, 7,102 for the visit of West Ham United in the Worthington Cup. And this one is in excess of that. Mansfield haven't quite got going as an attacking force in this half, apart from that one chance that came with Day's header. And Wayne Corden was who on the corner just prior to that. So he's a source of menace again from this free kick. And they'll aim it in towards goalkeeper Williams, but much too high. And Williams didn't have to stretch even. Chesterfield started the season with Carl Muggleton in their goal. Williams has just come in recent weeks. Keith Curle unable to play in this one because of a calf strain. And they do miss his experience out there, a man who's played 700 or 800 first-team matches, both Bristol clubs, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Sheffield United, Manchester City and England, of course, Keith Curle. Now it's Liam Lawrence. Oof, O'Hare was clearing as he was clattered. Clutches his knee, and Curtis has already been booked in this match. Trouble here for Tom Curtis, another yellow card would see him go off. And that's the last thing he would want coming back to Saltergate, especially as a Mansfield player. Now then, Mr. Robinson, a decision to make. One more, I think he's saying. Well, Tom Curtis was booked in the first half. A little dispute he had then with Marcus Ebden. Dave Rushbury's more concerned about the shape of the side right now, hence the discussion he's having down there. Little chat with Howson. And Tom Curtis has escaped with a warning. But I think the referee has given him a clear warning as well. Just one more offence and you will be off. The last thing Mansfield could afford. So we've still got 11 aside out there. And Mansfield are aiming to get forward here with White. That was a foul. The big man up against Blatherwick. And the free kick has been given. And Andy White, the latest for having words with the referee. It's a lonely life playing up there. Up against Steve Blatherwick. He's having a good chat to himself, I think, here now. He's accepted the decision, though, and it's a free kick for Chesterfield. Taken by Williams. Knocked on well by Hurst, who's not the biggest, but he got up well there. And Edwards crosses a good ball in. Decent one it was, too. And it could yet drop here for Payne or for Brandon. Brandon's flighted ball. Mansfield need to hook this ball away. That's exactly what they do. Beardsley's got a touch on it. So has Andy White. Beardsley the furthest forward. Blatherwick surely will steer it away from him. Edwards flicked it on, and now Ebden gets in another header. But it's going to come back in the general direction of the Chesterfield goal. And Andy White will hustle and push and harry, just to make sure his side gets the throw in, which they do. So opportunity for pressure. Corton's throw, was there a free kick there? No, there wasn't, and so Blatherwick drags Chesterfield close to the halfway line. Indeed, over the halfway line, but now he's got to scuttle back. He won't be in his defensive position now, but it won't matter, that's far too long. Well, maybe this is the moment for Shane Bradley. I'm sure he's been looking forward to this fixture against the club that released him just a short while ago. And he's had trials elsewhere, but eventually opted for Chesterfield. And the former Southampton striker looks as though he's limbering up for action shortly. Bisley's header, and now Corden. He's neat and trim in everything he does, but he loses it this time to Brandon, who's always forward with purpose. Brings Ebden back into play. Wide again will be Edwards, who's got a good left foot, and will get a second chance at this. It came back to him off Disley. It's Edwards, he tees it up invitingly, but Ebden well wide of the mark. Seemed to fly off the outside of Marcus Ebden's right boot. But a beautiful day for watching football. And apart from picking the ball out of the net once, Kevin Pilkington hasn't been overworked today. A distinct lack of substitutions so far, so that suggests both Dave Roshbury and Keith Curl are relatively happy with what's going on out there, looking to eke out all 3 points. Clark with the throw for Mansfield Town. Lawrence, who's perhaps not been quite as prominent in this half as he was in the first. Always a dangerous thing to say about a player, mind you. Brandon loses out. Disley won it. Corden. Love to show the ball to the opponent, then try and get on the outside. Whisked it across, good ball. Chances here for Mansfield. Beardsley can't get in, the ball is cleared. But that was an excellent cross from Corden. Could have caused real mayhem in the Chesterfield ranks. As it is, they're motoring forward until Disley intervenes on Mansfield's behalf again. Stymied Reeves' run. Payne with the throw. Still 1-1 here between Chesterfield and Mansfield Town in this Division 2 encounter. Mansfield, you'll recall, winning promotion last season so joyously when they defeated Carlisle United at Field Mill. One of the great days in the club's history. Corton and White, the goal scorers for them that day. Today, so far, just Craig Disley on target. But a lot of changes in the side since then. So new players still bedding in. A new manager bedding in too. But here at Chesterfield attacking with Payne's ball, but it's not a dangerous one. It's long from Pilkington. It's only covered for the time being because it's snapped up here by Liam Lawrence. Clark with a chip attempted into the area. It was a good chip as well for Beardsley, who takes it down. Tepid sort of finish to the move. As Williams dives on the ball. So Beardsley getting into some good forward positions. It was missed by Day. Fortunately for Mansfield, it was also missed by the Chesterfield attack. That ground level shot for you again of the Steve Payne throw. Shouts for a free kick. Nothing interesting, Mr. Robinson, for the time being, though. And Blatherwick is able to beat away Andy White and then to clear, dispatching the ball halfway inside the opposition half. Well, the ball went out before it came back in. Still playing there, he once played at Huddersfield Town, then he moves into non-league football at Macclesfield before getting his chance back in league football. Still Shane Bradley not quite ready to come on and lend his weight to this argument. There's a flick by White, to be covered by Blatherwick. Tickle back, and White was making inroads there. Didn't quite manage to get onto the ball. And now straight away to the other end, and the back pass is for Pilkington. Well, the game's going through one of those curious phases you get in matches where nothing much is happening in either penalty area. It's all being fought out in midfield. Just needs somebody to be a little bit more creative. Seems a familiar face, one of our cameramen. Mr. Kane, and very able. He'll understand that. Not so able this time, Chesterfield, as they concede the throw-in. Midway inside Mansfield's half, but there's been no harm really done to either team in this part of the game. Fencing for a breakthrough, it might come here, but Brandon can't quite get there. Maybe now, Brandon getting goal side if he can of the Mansfield defender. Gets his foot to the ball, but not before it's across the white line. And Mansfield will have a throw-in in exactly the position they had one just a moment or two ago. Touch of deja vu about this. Although Steele's not sure which way to look. You've got to have your eyes on the pitch, and Mansfield are approaching Chesterfield's goal now with Corton's ball looped over the top. Disley on the charge. It's gone all the way through to Williams, though. It's a very calm goalkeeper. And no hope when Craig Disley popped that ball past him as the first half came towards its close. Which is why it's 1-1 at the moment. I'm sure Keith Curle will be contemplating a switch shortly, and so will Dave Rushbury. Perhaps first with Bradley in his mind. Howson here for Chesterfield. Well, I think that's as clear an indication as possible that the switch is about to be made. Last instructions from the boss for Shane Bradley. It's not easy to pick a winner. They are just slugging it out toe-to-toe. Corden, however, with these long and raking passes, does hold some hope for Mansfield, but this one's gone awry. Nicely fielded over on the touchline there by one of the spectators. Thumbs up from Lee Richardson. So enter Shane Bradley any minute now, I would think. And he'll so want to make an impression against his old club. But it's Chesterfield who are taking the game to Mansfield right now with Ebden's throw. In fact, perhaps they're just going to delay long enough to allow for the double substitution here. Not only Bradley coming on, but also the son of the manager, Andy Rushbury. Martin Booty is one of those withdrawn. Rushbury on for Booty. And who comes off for Shane Bradley? We shall see in a moment, maybe. Last minute checks all around. And it's David Reeves, that's a predictable switch. Reeves, the veteran striker now, sees his place taken by Shane Bradley, the newest recruit to Chesterfield's ranks. And here he comes, once at Mansfield Town, now very much of the enemy, Chesterfield. Can he come up with a winner to write a story for the papers tomorrow morning? Hurst. And Disley. Angles it for Corden. Can't quite get there. But he does the second time around, just kept nibbling away, won the ball. And then Disley, curiously, gives it straight back to Chesterfield. We'll have it in the shape of Brandon for only a second. Oh, lovely control by Day. He was facing the wrong way there for a defender, but he took the ball down very expertly. Got a clearance away. Rushbury can't keep it in. The longer throw this time from Clark. Doesn't really get anywhere. Bradley just had his first touch of the ball there. Well, there's a free kick here for Chesterfield. They seem to be delaying because Mr. Robinson is moving away from the scene of the free kick and he's going over for a word with his assistant. Now, something has been seen here. Something has been seen by the referee, and I think it's Shane Bradley who is going to be summoned by Mr. Robinson. I'm not quite sure what all this is about, but it was something that was spotted by the assistant referee, and a card is coming out. And I think it's going to be a red card, astonishingly. That's the card that seemed to be produced from the pocket. Indeed it is. What drama here at Saltergate. And Shane Bradley looks as perplexed as I am, to be fair. I never saw anything there. Bradley looks quizzically at the referee, but it was the assistant who saw something. Glyn Hurst is ushering his colleague away, and Chesterfield are reduced to 10 men within 2 minutes of Bradley's introduction. It's an astonishing moment in the derby match. And, that's it, that's the moment. Well, you cannot spit at an opponent. That's one of the most despicable offences on the football field. And although Rhys Day didn't really react, Shane Bradley spat at the opponent, and that is why he is walking off the pitch. And what a problem here for Chesterfield that they didn't expect, and I would imagine that Dave Rushbury will be fuming with his striker for that. And David Reeves is just coming over to give him a piece of his mind as well. He really has let his teammates down there. The former Mansfield player, with a chance to shine against them for Chesterfield, the local rivals, is dismissed. More of that in a moment. Let's see what happens with the Chesterfield free kick. It was such a perplexing moment until you saw that replay. Thank goodness we have cameras at football matches that pick up that sort of incident. Few in the ground would have known what that was for. Mr. Robinson might be producing a yellow card here for another player, Craig Disley, I think. He's having to be restrained by Tom Curtis, who did go in just a little bit rashly there on Payne. And then also on Ebden. Well, it's Craig Disley's name that's going to be occupying the thoughts of Mr. Robinson right now. So a couple of little flashpoints here. But just to go back for a moment, as Disley is booked to that incident involving Shane Bradley, you have to question the player. It's such a stupid act to do a thing like that, to get yourself red-carded. Some managers don't mind hard, fierce tackles that take care of opponents, but for an incident of spitting, that really is unforgivable. So Bradley's off, Chesterfield have 10, Disley's just been booked. It's all happening at Saltergate, but it's still 1-1, let me remind you. Chesterfield still have quite a while to play out with the 10 men, although sometimes that can spur a side on. And here goes Ebden, hit it straight against the socks of Disley. Payne with a cross ball in, the goalkeeper Pilkington stays on his line. It's bobbling around here, it's Brandon hooking it against the opponent. And Disley, who's now going to be booed by the Chesterfield fans throughout the rest of this game, sets Mansfield going forward again. Not for long. Blatherwick does the usual thing and puts his opponent to ground. Well, I said it was all happening here, and it is. Beardsley picks himself up. Battered, bruised, ego intact. Well, the Mansfield fans are enjoying their day in the sunshine in Derbyshire. The scoreline's still good enough at the moment, 1-1. Both sides would like to be winners today. It's all about passion and local rivalry, is this. And being able to go to work the next day with your head held high. Fouled by Disley, free kick Chesterfield. Disley's really in the thick of things now, and he's got to be careful. Competitive game, and no one more competitive than Craig Disley. Ebden. Brandon to Ebden. Edwards, oh, lovely skill. Rob Edwards, can he finish as well? Still there. That was excellent from Edwards. Now it's Brandon. It's taken away from him by Lawrence, who seems to be more working as a defender right now than as an attacker. He's having to do. Again, Chesterfield calm, and Hurst will try and just get onto this ball. Unable to do so. Well dealt with by young Beardsley, and then by Day. Well, still smiling on the touchline. That's what you'd expect of a derby game. Tight, competitive, bruising at times. Plenty for them to talk about tonight. Everyone in the local. Up to the halfway line. Away first time, White. The battering ram up there for Mansfield. He's got options here, and Lawrence supplies one with a ball in from the right, covered by Blatherwick. Still Lawrence up there and challenging once again. And you start to wonder if anybody can be a hero now. 1-1 it is. One more goal may be decisive in the outcome of this fixture. Chesterfield looking for the double over their rivals. Mansfield desperate to avoid a double, and here's an overhead kick that will be too high. But it was a decent enough effort. Sort of one that can go anywhere. And it happened to land just behind the net for Chris Beardsley. sure his first goal in league football will not be long delayed, though. He shows signs of being an excellent player. Blatherwick with the header. Disley with the next one. Hit cross field. So still no way through, and another little flashpoint here. Stuart Howson